The difference between a cation and an anion. Cation, positively charged, more protons than electrons. Anion, negatively charged, more electrons than protons. Cations and anions are both ions. The difference between a cation and an anion is the net overall charge of the ion. Ions are atoms which have gained or lost one or more valence electrons, giving the ion a net overall positive or negative charge. If the atom has more protons than electrons, it carries a negative positive charge. If there are more electrons than protons, the atom has a net negative charge. Cation versus anion. When writing cations or anion symbols, the element symbols is listed first. The charge is written as a superscript following the chemical formula. Cations are ions with a net positive charge. Cation examples: lithium plus, Be2 plus, B3 plus. Anions are ions with a net negative charge. Anion examples: hydroxide anion, Cl negative, S negative 2, and negative 3. Because they have opposite electrical charges, cations and anions are attracted opposite charges to each other. Cations repel other cations, positive and positive repel, while anions repel other anions, negative and negative repel. Predicting cations and anions. Sometimes you can predict whether an atom will form a cation or an anion based on its position on the periodic table. Metals tend to form cations because they give valence electrons away. For instance, alkali metals group 1 and alkali earth metals group 2 always form cations. Nonmetals, on the other hand, tend to form anions because they receive or take valence electrons. For example, halogens group 17 always form anions. Writing chemical formulas. When writing the formula of a compound, the cation is listed below the anion, metal before nonmetal, or positive before negative. For example, in NaCl, the sodium atom acts as a cation, while the chlorine atom acts as an anion. Discussion questions. Number 1, use the Venn diagram to show the similarities and differences between a cation and an anion. Put the similarities in the middle. Question 2, what are anions? Question number 3, if the atom has more protons than electrons, this is a. If there are more electrons than protons, the atom is a. How do you write a cation or anion symbol? Metals tend to form blank. Explain why. Nonmetals tend to form. Explain why. From the writing in the writing chemicals formula paragraph, the sodium anion act as a, and the chloride atom act as a.